Dustin right now. If it doesn't work, we'll try to call him after the next song. He lives a little out of town, so we'll see. Hey, this is Phone a Friend here.
Is my phone a friend Regis?
Da 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 da.
Hello?
Is this Dustin Anderson?
Yes, sir.
Is this D to the A?
What up, man?
Is this the D to the A to the S?
To the TIN.
What is up, Dustin Anderson, to the Metal Mixtape? You are live to the billions and billions of listeners listening right now. It's approximately 14 billion listeners that listen to us every week.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What's
So,
up?
dude, what is dude, just chilling, man. How's your night tonight?
It's been a little crazy, but it's mellowing out.
You know what? Oh, go ahead.
End it with a interview with you, and then I'll be off to bed.
Hey, well,
What a way to end the night.
oh yeah, well, I appreciate you making time for us, man. And you know what? I always say that, like, if sometimes I like a little crazy in my day. It makes it interesting, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I always. Do you ever just have like a nice quiet day and you're just like, man, I wish something crazy would just happen, you know?
All the time.
So we're talking to Mr. Dustin Anderson. You've had a long history in music, man. And you know, I know you personally from when you played in Mistaken Existence. You play in Die for a While Now, and you had a run in Motivator. But you know what I don't know about Dustin Anderson? You know what I don't know? I don't know why or how you started music or when you started music, man. Let's dive in a little. I want you to tell me, when's the first time you picked up an instrument, and what was like your inspiration behind it, man?
Well, I guess it stems back to first time I heard Pantera, actually. I heard Cemetery Gates at a metal appreciation class in high school.
Wow.
And
They have those.
and my mind was blown. I was like, why have I never heard of this before? What is this? And I went home and I illegally downloaded every Pantera song I could find, and then I picked up my stepbrother's guitar, and there was no looking back after that.
Dude, that's awesome, dude. And you're a left-handed guitar player, so was there just a left-handed guitar laying around, or like you'd had to adjust it?
No, I'm not that lucky for sure. I played upside down for about 3 years before I realized, this is going to be impossible trying to do this G chord thing upside down. I need to flip it over and learn proper.
That's awesome, man. I'm pretty sure Jimi Hendrix did that too, man. He would just flip the strings right over, and that's freaking killer, man. So, dude, you've had a long career, dude. You've played shows all over, dude. When you were a little kid and playing shows, did you always think that you wanted to be in a band, or what was like the first like couple projects that you started where you're just like, all right, I think I can do this. I want to play big stages. I just want to play music. Like, how old were you when that first hit you?
Well, I'd have to say I was probably just about turning 20, and I was playing with Ty Bird and Tony Deal and Jake Williams in a band called T-Bird and the Destroyers.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
And they popped my musical cherry, basicly. I went on and I played half the set with them, and at the end of the show they paid me, and I was just like, for real? And they were like, yeah, good job, man. And I knew at that moment that that's what I wanted to do.
Dude, no, that's amazing, man. I think we all have like those special little moments. I know I didn't start playing music till I was like 21. So dude, also, of course, we're probably gonna dive in this a little bit. You did play,
sure.
you did play like tours and a lot of shows with Motivator. But what I don't know is how you ever came upon that gig. Like, did you already know the guys? Did you fall into it? How did that come about?
That came about because, in the small little town of Wairika, the guitar player from Moto, he went into the head shop to buy a weed pipe, and our friend and the singer for Mistaken at the time, Jeff, he was working there. And so when the guitar player came in and was like, have you ever heard of Motograder? And they checked him out. We're like, yeah, this is pretty cool. Why don't you come over to the house and meet the guys and stuff? And of course, I was the only dude in the band who actually had ever heard of Motograder before that. So like, I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way, you know. And he showed up to one of the practices, hung out. We talked for a bit, and then a couple months went by, and I went to Knotfest, and I watched him perform. And I sent the guitar player a personal message like, hey, good set, bro. Like, you know, you guys killed it. And he was like, you should have came backstage, man. You should have hit me up. And then I got a phone call a couple weeks later, and he asked me if I wanted a job. And I was like, yeah, I'll fucking drive for you. I'll load gear for you. He's all, no. We need someone to play this instrument.
What?
And, yeah, and I told him right away, I was like, well, I got to check with the boys first. He's all, check with the boys? Wait, what? You'll call me back? I was like, yeah, I'll call you back. And I guess I tripped him out a little bit, but I hung up the phone and I looked at all the guys because they were all standing right there next to me. And they're like, what are you doing, bro? Call him back. Like, call him back. So.
Well, much respect for you for doing that. You know, you're like, I got to check with the boys first. And the guy's like, hey, this is like an opportunity of your life. What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, well, you know, that's how it goes, you know, loyalty to the boys.
That's the way she goes. No, I totally dig it, dude. So when you first started playing shows, was it like immediately like, all right, Dustin, here's a tour. We need you this date and we got to go now? Or how long did they give you to like learn a set? Like, how did that go about?
I showed up 2 weeks before everybody else did to learn this instrument because, I mean, I'm a guitar player. They handed me a drumstick and a linear bass instrument to play, you know? Like, I was a little overwhelmed at first, but they gave me 2 weeks before, and everybody else was practically a new lineup, minus Mylan on bass and the guitar player. But it was a new singer, new backup vocalist, new guitar player, so everybody was kind of fresh coming into it. And that definitely helped me a little bit.
Yeah, so it was kind of like you got initiated with everybody else that got initiated.
Yeah. It was all at the same time, so it wasn't like I was a greenhorn or anything, you know.
So what was the first show you ever played with them? Where, if you remember it?
I believe it was Santa Ana, I believe, and it was a small little club, and played with like four other bands, and then the show after that was the Texas Independence Festival with Whitechapel and all, you know, a bunch of big names.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I was totally like shell shocked on that. I didn't know how that whole load gear in, load gear out kind of thing was. I had to just kind of figure it out.
Dude, that's so sick. I bet you're kind of mind blown, dude. Did you have the jitters at all when you, like, you know what I never understood of those festivals is that, so like after a band rotates out, do they just load up all the gear and then they just kind of do like a board sound check before you guys play, or how does that go?
Well, if you're not main stage, like if you're not like headliner, you don't get to do a sound check. It was just kind of like throw and go is what they call it.
Really?
Where it's like, oh, okay, the last guy just got off stage from the band before you, grab your gear and get up there. And it didn't help that I was playing through, it felt like a washing machine. Like it's super heavy. I think they put concrete in the bottom of his bass cab to give it some tone or something, and
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of a nightmare, but
Dude, that still sounds awesome, dude. I think I don't know.
totally was.
I don't know if I might have saw a picture on Facebook, but it looked like a sea of people. I don't know if that was the picture.
Yeah, it's super surreal. I still go back and I look at some of those videos, and I'm just like, it really didn't seem like there was that many people there, because I just kind of get in my own headspace and try not to fuck up, you know?
That's awesome, man. I bet it was. I couldn't even imagine. I think that's absolutely amazing, dude. So how was touring, man? Because like me myself, dude, I've only ever toured for 6 days, but I can't imagine touring for like more than a couple weeks, dude. Was that the first time like you ever went like on an actual big tour?
Yeah, and my first tour was 3 months long.
Dude,
and I should have brought more socks and more top ramen, man. Damn.
Oh no.
What was there ever like a point on tour where you're just like, man, I'm exhausted, or oh man, I'm tired?
Yeah, we call it tour rage.
Tour rage?
Yeah, because just out of nowhere, somebody loses their shit and they flip out, and it's just somebody just had enough, and everybody gets it. You know,
I think I know what you're talking about.
3 months. Yeah, for sure. 3 months with a bunch of strangers, you know, breathing each other's air in this tiny little van, and it's just, and there were 9 of us in that thing, so
Woo!
we had 2 band girlfriends. 2 girlfriends rode along, and they helped out, and Riri and Coco, they were lifesavers. They'd bring us towels and stuff to wash all that fucking paint off. And I mean, yeah, so it was 9 of us in this van, and if you spend every day for 3 months, like waking up next to somebody's feet every day, like you rage out eventually. You know?
Dude, so did you guys have to carry like 5-gallon jugs of like the paint that you guys would put on?
Yeah, we would call ahead to this store, Dick Blick, and it's the only stuff that really like worked. I mean, when we couldn't find a place and we go and get the cheap stuff from Walmart, get some acrylic, it would like crack and like burn our eyes. And,
oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine, dude. Like,
probably just, you know.
Did you ever have
carcinogenic for sure.
Did you ever have a show where you just went completely blind?
Oh yeah, all the time. I'm already kind of working with a disadvantage, but as soon as you start sweating and those lights are on you, they start baking you. Paint runs into your eye, and then you just, you know.
It's all. What were you? Did that ever happen to you? And like mid set, you're just like, I can't wait for the set to be over.
Yeah, I kept a towel in my back pocket just in case. But the problem is if you start wiping the paint off before the show's done, by the time it's over, like you kind of look like a Teletubby. You're totally covered except for your face and your stomach, you know.
Dude, that's awesome, dude. Before we get up to the next topic, was there a memorable show that you had when you went on tour and played with Motor Grader? A show that just stood out?
Yeah. The one that came to mind right when you said that was the Whiskey A Go Go.
Yeah.
And Ivan Moody himself showed up, who was the prior singer for Moto Grader.
Yeah, and he's a Five Finger Death Punch now, right?
Yeah, and he came up to me, and he's like, "Good set, bro." And like, I just recognized his voice, and I realized it's just me outside with him. And it kind of tripped me out a little bit. I'm like, whoa, you know. But he asked me, "Well, how'd you get a hold of the instrument?" And I was like, "Well, the guy who used to play it didn't want to do it anymore, and I got a phone call." And I think he said, "What's your name?" And I was like, "They call me Skunk." And he's all, "You look like a jelly."
What? A jelly?
And then that was it. Yeah, he's all, "You look like a jelly."
And then he walked off into the sunset?
Nah. The rest of the band came out right then, and like saved me from awkward moments and shit. So it worked out perfect.
Dude,
you know? But it was cool to kind of go full circle where I went to Knotfest and watched Five Finger play and Moto play, and then he came to, you know, one of my shows. So it was super cool.
That's a real, man. I love hearing that, dude. I think that's absolutely fantastic, dude. So now you're playing in an awesome band, Die Farewell, dude. Why don't you tell us, introduce your band members, or tell us the band members of the band, and a little bit about the style you guys play.
Well, it's a little bit heavier than my last project, which was nice. Kind of break up the monotonous a little bit, doing deathcore.
Mm.
We got Travis, Tarrant, T-Rav on guitar. We got Jeff O'Neill, Jeffy Poo on vocals. Got Shannon, Shano, it's just, as I know the guy, on bass. And then we have this fantastic drummer, Noah Conklin. The guy is just, I mean, he's almost overqualified to be playing with us, but he's a savage, and we all have this like mutual thing where it just clicks and it works, and we hang out. And
dude, that's awesome, dude. No, I think it's really important to like have a connection with your bandmates, you know, where like you can hang out outside of music, because I think you can be the most creative that way.
Absolutely. You gotta have some kind of foundation. You know, a band that can eat together, hang out together, will thrive together, you know?
Oh, absolutely, dude. Yeah, no, it's a family, dude. And, you know, and being able to use everybody's potential and allowing creativity in the band, I think that's like the most important, you know, being able to like let every band member do their thing and hit their potential.
Yeah, absolutely. The less rules, the more fun. And, you know, we're not doing it for the paychecks, you know?
Yeah, no, I dig it though. But you know what? When you do that too, I think you have like more sporadic, like creative songs. And not only that, but like the arsenal of songs that you can write is endless, you know?
Yeah. Otherwise you get this stuff that they're jamming down people's ear holes on the radio of these people who just like do it all themselves, and it's like, yeah, one person can create something, but can you take 5 different people's ideas, collaborate them, and create with that, you know?
Oh,
that's where I feel, you know, that's the magic, you know?
That's like the difference between like a homemade dinner or like a good buffet. I don't know if that was a good. I don't know if that was a good analogy. How about this? A bad buffet and a good buffet.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, exactly.